Claro. Yeah, no.
We're going to start from this note that says that the author wrote this story to represent her own experience of feeling guilty because the relief she got after her husband died. Well, the author lost her husband in a similar circumstance than Mrs. Mallard's husband. So, from that point of view, I would agree with the statement that say that she felt guilty because the freedom she got after her husband died. So, I would say that she felt identified with Mrs. Mallard, and she tried to represent it, and right in the end, at the moment she passed away.
Yeah, maybe you got a good point, but I think that the author wrote this story actually, thinking in the repression that he was feeling in that period of time, because of the society, which was very important for people, and yeah, that's my point. What do you think, Carlos?
I'm not so sure that it could be about that the author were trying to write a story which represent what he felt, but I'm pretty interested about the end of the story, that when the husband was not dead, and when the miss, I forgot her last name, Mahler, yeah, when she saw him, she died. But I think that the whole story is it has the meaning at the end of the story, that is that she could rest in peace, in soul and body, because the guilty that she felt because her husband was dead was not true. I think that is the most important thing.
Do you have a different opinion?
Yeah, according to this thesis, I think that it's not represent her own experience about her husband, because she tried to represent the repression that Daniel says, and women could not go to the streets by her own, their own, and
so she was feeling oppressed in some way,
yeah,
by the society, right?
yeah. So I think that is not really represent her life. Obviously, it's quite similar because Chopin's father died in an accident in a train.
Yeah.
The same happened with Mahler husband, but I think that the story, not the story, represent a little bit of the society.
I could see your point of view, but what if she was feeling she was dealing with that sort of society by then, so that way she mixed both, trying to represent their own experience in a story, and on the other hand, trying to describe the society in those times. I don't know.
The oppression in those times.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But focusing on the story now, I'd like to say that I think that it was everything kind of a dream of her, because from the beginning of the story, she start talking about her imagine her husband death, and also Richard and Josephine, which was her sister. And then until the almost the middle of the middle part of the book, the story, when when her husband appeared and he was alive. And well, that's what I tried to say, that everything was a dream. She was in the process of dying, of passing away, so she was imagining everything. I mean,
Everything was a dream, like Oliver Atom.
yeah. That's what I think that I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
And she was feeling free. That's why she was feeling free.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Not because of her husband's death, because she was living a life. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Understand.
Well, understood.
What do you think?
I want to support the idea of what Yaya said, that she wants to do the story which would have a background, like I don't know, some pretty good stories. That, for example, the bear story, that everybody could think that is representing the oppression that is on the zoos, but at the end is the strike that was on Chile, and I think that is the same. That it's a pretty could be normal story, talking about a woman who lost her husband, but at the background, it could represent that how she felt the depression of the life, how for a little moment there was she had the doors open to the freedom.
I wouldn't have thought that she was dreaming, but now that you say it, I can
Makes
tell
sense.
it got a lot of sense. So maybe you are right. I haven't thought that way, but yeah, at the end, when the husband got home, maybe she was actually dreaming, because it's more realistic that way. And I have to say, frankly, I like it more that way,
In a way.
because I couldn't get my head round of the ending. So it got more sense to me if it is like that way.
Actually, when I read the story, I was thinking of freedom. I told you that.
Yeah.
And at first, it represents how a woman is feeling guilty, but at the same time, she experienced I don't know, overpowering joy. But I think that it really represents the society in that period of time, because she was very criticized
Yeah.
for the stories.
Oh, got it.
She wrote a story about a woman who wasn't satisfied with her husband, and she wrote many stories about women, and the society criticized her for wrote that kind of stories.
Like she was representing the freedom of women.
Yeah.
Get it. Well, it could be the one important thing that I'm talking about the end that was pretty weird. That suddenly the husband arrives and everybody's happy.
And she died.
Yeah, she died. Yeah, but the important thing here that I want to say is that taking the idea that Daniel said that she was dreaming, maybe when she was resting, he said when she was thinking everything, maybe in the at that moment she died, and the last thing that she thought before dying, that she imagined that her husband arrived, and then with that thing, maybe that was the key to obtain the peace that was feeling at the same time that she was feeling free.
Maybe she couldn't manage such freedom. She got she was afflicted with a heart disease, and she couldn't stand the moment in which her husband appeared. Maybe it's like that you said that she was passing away in that moment. So maybe she had only a few minutes of freedom. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I think that is correct.
Yeah, going back to the point that I was saying before, I would like to say that he was being free because he was not afraid of death. He was she was feeling relaxed actually.
She was acting.
She was herself, and that's why I say that she's not afraid of death, because she was lying on the sofa when she died. So
So maybe it's a mix of sick. How could I say it? Maybe she tried to describe a lot of things. Maybe from those times, from
Yeah.
her own
And
experience. I don't know.
as I have heard from people, in the process of death, you start to remember things, and maybe this was a way of remember her life, remember her husband, and she started thinking in all the things that he did in her life.
One idea that supports yours is that when she was looking at the window, and the big window that was open,
Yeah.
and she saw two hands that like to inviting her somewhere. I thought that could be angels trying to take her
There was something telling
havens.
Yeah.
So you can get your own interpretation. That's pretty good, because the story is open to your own imagination, so you can get a lot of ideas. Maybe you can get the feelings the author was trying to give you. That's
Yeah.
nice.
So
Actually, people
Love you guys.
people who read this story, they think that it was a terrible thing, that a woman
Yeah.
feel
Free.
free and
because of the husband
happiness and yeah.
It happens a lot, but
It was strange because in the story, she experienced that freedom, but in a room
alone.
alone, and then when she leaves, as soon as she leaves the room,
she saw her husband.
and all that she dreams.
Yeah,
Maybe that was a part of the dream too. Yeah, until the husband enter to the house. So when he entered, he go he went to the room, and that's the beginning of reality. Like I'm not sure because I
Like-
didn't write it.
Like the room,
So
like the room that was her mind, her head.
Could be,
And
yeah.
when she she passed through the door, there was the transition from his head to the real world.
Yeah, could be.
That somebody has to say something else.
no,
Ta-da!
I
That's
don't have anything to add.
Dance.
Thank you very much.
That was quite good.